Hello and welcome to another video. My name is Boxiest, and today we're going to continue the What If series. What if events had gone differently? And in this What If, we're going to change the history of Cobra Kai. What if Miguel rejoined Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6, Part 2? If you haven't seen the previous part, I would recommend you go watch it before continuing this one. So in this timeline, Miguel and Johnny would still leave, so Quan would take over as Cobra Kai's captain, and on the plane, things would be awkward between Miguel and Johnny. Johnny would once again ask Miguel why he joined Kreese, and Johnny would say that they could have found another solution for him to stay in Miyagi-Do, but Miguel would still be ignoring Johnny, and he still wouldn't want to talk to him, so that plane ride would stay the same. The Miyagi-Do students would still go explore Barcelona, and they would still be at the tapas bar. Robbie and Sam would both be drinking. They would still be upset about Tori, and they would also be heartbroken about Miguel. This is when the Cobra Kais would show up, and Sam would still go outside to get some air. Quan would still want to mess with Robbie, so Quan and Robbie would start to have a rivalry. Zara would notice the connection between Tori and Robbie, and she would still want to mess with Tori, so those events would stay the same. Sam would still be walking down the beach, and she would still run into Axel. She would still compliment Axel on his kata, and the interaction between Sam and Axel would stay the same. And Axel and Sam would still walk back to the hotel together, and on the way back to their hotel, they would still run into Cobra Kai. The Cobra Kais would still want to mess with Sam and Axel, but Axel would fight back, and Sam and Axel would still fight off the Cobra Kais. They would still escape to the beach, and much like in the original timeline, Axel would lean in to kiss Sam, so Axel would kiss Sam in this timeline. Those events would continue. Eventually, Miguel and Johnny would come back to Barcelona, and Miguel would once again take over as Cobra Kai's captain. Miyagi-Do would still fight Furia de Pantera, and the fight would stay the same. Dimitri and Hawk would still be arguing, and much like in the original timeline, Furia de Pantera would be Miyagi-Do. Those events would continue. Miyagi-Do would still have a bit of a break between their matches. Axel would see Sam all alone, so Axel would want to talk to Sam. Miguel would see Sam and Axel talking from afar, and those events would continue. And during the next team match, Miyagi-Do would fight Redentores. Robbie would start off. He would use a combination of offense and defense, and Robbie would land the first point. Robbie would tag in Kenny, and much like in the original timeline, Kenny would get 2 points, and they would still advance in their matches. The Saikai Taikai would continue. Cobra Kai would still fight Tiger Strike. Miguel would still be fighting with anger, and Cobra Kai would be focused. So in this timeline, Cobra Kai would beat Tiger Strike, and those events would carry on. Miyagi-Do would still fight Cobra Kai. Miguel would be conflicted about fighting Miyagi-Do, and Tori would see that Miguel was conflicted. She would tell Miguel not to be distracted, and that Miyagi-Do wasn't on their side. So the fight would begin, and Robbie and Tori would still start off. Robbie would still be distracted, and he would still tag in Sam. Sam and Tori would fight. The fight would continue, but Tori would tag in Miguel, so Miguel and Sam would fight. Sam would still be mad at Miguel for betraying Miyagi-Do, and she would be fighting with anger. Miguel would be distracted by Sam, and in this timeline, Sam would get the first point against Miguel, so Miguel would tag in Yoon, and Yoon and Sam would continue to fight, and Yoon would land the first point against Miyagi-Do. Yoon and Dimitri would continue the fight. Dimitri, Hawk, and Kenny would team up to get the point on Yoon, so Yoon would tag in Quan, and Quan and Hawk would fight, but Quan would land a point against Hawk, so the score would be 2-2. Quan would once again tag in Miguel, and Hawk would tag in Robbie. Miguel and Robbie would have a rematch, and they would both be using a combination of offense and defense, but in this timeline, Miguel would get the last point on Robbie, so Cobra Kai would be Miyagi-Do in this timeline, so Miyagi-Do would be eliminated, and Miguel would be sad that he was the one that eliminated Miyagi-Do, and the next day, Miguel would want to talk to the Miyagi-Dos, but the Miyagi-Dos wouldn't have anything to say to Miguel. Only Johnny and Robbie would have anything to say. Tiger Strike would still be eliminated for cheating during the tournament, so Miyagi-Do would be let back in. The semifinals would begin. In this timeline, Diego would fight Robbie. The match would be close, but Robbie would defeat Diego. Zara and Maria would fight, but Zara would still defeat Maria. Axel would fight Miguel in the semifinals. Miguel would be jealous of Sam and Axel, so the fight would begin. Miguel would try using his defense, but Axel would get through it, and he would manage to land some points on Miguel. Miguel would get mad, and he would get more aggressive, and he would manage to land a point on Axel, but eventually the time would run out, and Axel would defeat Miguel. Sam and Tori would fight, and they would both use a combination of offense and defense. The match would be close, so in this timeline, Tori would defeat Sam, so she would advance to the finals. Miguel would tell Sam that she did well. Miguel would wish Robbie good luck before his match, so Robbie and Axel would fight in the finals. Robbie would try to get some points on Axel, but by now Axel would be more aggressive, and he would get some points on Robbie. So in this timeline, Axel would defeat Robbie. Zara would fight Tori. Zara would be aggressive, and she would land some points on Tori. Tori would be using a combination of offense and defense. She would manage to land a point on Zara, so Zara would get more aggressive, and she would defeat Tori. So the Iron Dragons would win, Miyaido and Cobra Kai would go home with defeat, Sensei Kim and her students would go back to Korea, and Miguel and Tori would go back to the valley. Even though Miyaido lost, Miyaido would remain open, Tori would rejoin Miyaido, but Miguel would feel like he didn't deserve to be in Miyaido anymore, so Miguel wouldn't rejoin in this timeline. And that is where I'm gonna end this what if. Thank you guys for watching. What do you guys think would have happened if Miguel rejoined Cobra Kai during the events of Cobra Kai Season 6? Let me know in the comments below. YouTube lets me know that the majority of you are not subscribed, so if you guys could subscribe, that would be much appreciated. Thank you guys for watching. Make sure to like this video, subscribe, and turn on post notifications. And I'll see you guys next time.